Facebook Live. Okay, man, so we are on day 3. My name is Justin with Numinds Enrichment, and man, just a couple things came to me as I was planning out today's talk. That song lyric came to me. It's just this part that goes, the times have changed and the times are strange. Here I come, but I'm not the same. So, man, my question for you is what kind of song lyrics are you thinking about? Maybe it's REM's The End of the World. I hope not. But I love it because we're at this time where things are a little bit different and they'll never be the same. I see so many people helping each other out and it makes me happy. So this is our thing that we do with New Minds. You know that we're teachers and we love to teach, and so having woken up one day with no one to teach, we poured our hearts into Facebook. So let me give you a quick rundown for the day and what's going on. A few questions have come out, which is, man, how do you guys plan these things? What are you going to do? That is honestly half the fun of it. So the parameters that we gave our team, our inspirators, that's what we call our teachers, our inspirators, we said, make sure that you use materials that the kids have easy access to, that are accessible for anybody, hopefully, and then, if not, provide different options for them. So, man, as we started doing these lessons, I have no idea what they're going to do. I tuned in with as much excitement and anticipation as you guys did watching Dorian building the pillars and watching Vawter fly around the world. Okay, you know what? Let me actually use that for a chance to kind of talk about what the schedule is. So, man, this is the morning announcements and just kind of a rundown of the day and a quick piece of inspiration. And then at 10 o'clock, I'm going to head over to YouTube and do a YouTube Live where I'm going to read a story to kids. Now, why? It's because we want parents to be able to enjoy the Parent Power Hour. I know a lot of schools are heading back at this time, and the kids are probably working on their schoolwork early in the morning. So maybe this is a chance now for the parents to have that time. Or if your kid's still on break, they have a story they can listen to. So once again, 10 o'clock, Kristen will be bringing us the Parent Power Hour, and I'll be reading a story on YouTube Live to help entertain the kids. So 11 o'clock, like I mentioned, Dorian comes in with the steam train, and this is intended for K to 2nd grade. But maybe it's because I'm a little bit of a kid at heart, but I sat there just fascinated. Yesterday he was cutting up pieces of stars and throwing them on paper to make new constellations and stories behind them. Just kind of a neat blend of science and mythology, and that part that makes us human, right? The storytelling piece. 12 o'clock is STEM and Espanol. This is with Catalina. It is a fully immersive bilingual experience. You've heard us say this before maybe, but you do not have to be well versed in Spanish in order to enjoy this lesson. It's a great way to learn and pick up the language. And at the same time, if you are a native Spanish speaker, this is excelente for you. So, okay, 1 o'clock is Into the Dungeon Verse with Adam. This is an all ages kind of group. And Adam is just a master at the narrative and the storytelling. He is a game master. And so what he's been doing is teaching us how to write stories, how to create our own worlds. And yesterday, if you didn't see the video, check it out. He threw down Legos as a way of creating a world, and then even mixed up with some dice rolls. Mind blown. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't know what they're going to do until I watch it. The parameters are make it as easy and accessible as possible. Okay, 2 o'clock, we have Around the World with Mr. Vawter. He uses the Google Earth, right? And I hope I'm saying that right, and zooms us in and out of various locations. He has taken us all the way to his home country of Costa Rica, and he has taken us to Egypt. So check that out. 3 o'clock, Dorian comes back with the steam train. This time, it's for students 3 through 5. And then I'll actually be wrapping up the day for the 4 o'clock spot. I say wrapping up the day, the last segment for kids. The 4 o'clock spot is from the New Minds Vault. And what I'm doing there is we're digging back through our 8 years of lessons and some of our favorites that are easy to do at home. And so I'll be doing that one today at 4 o'clock. And then Ben will be wrapping out the day at 5 o'clock with closing messages and announcements. You have been asking a lot of questions, so let me make sure I address a couple of them that were the most relevant and most prevalent. So the first question is, if you guys have missed any of the videos, by all means, we are saving them not only on Facebook, but we're in the middle of putting together Numinds.tv. Don't head there yet; it's not ready yet. But Numinds.tv will have all the videos that you can watch and check out later. The second question was, how are we planning it? You are asking for various types of curriculum. Man, it's so funny. A week ago, I was a curriculum writer who was laying on the floor after having blown up 160 balloons to play Hungry Hungry Hippos with a group of kids at spring brain break. And here I am in my office playing guitar to you online. You never know what the world's going to throw at you, right? So just breathe in deep and lean into it. But I'm saying that because, yes, Dorian, who's actually one of our curriculum specialists with me, we love taking your suggestions and what you want lessons on and actually writing them into lessons. So actually on our Numinds page, you'll see that we have about, I think, 2 or 3 up so far called the whiteboard sessions. This is obviously before the outbreak of COVID, but we were in a room together taking your suggestions and turning them into lesson plans that then our amazing team, including Kristen, put into lesson plans that were templated and formatted. Anyway, what am I saying? You are asking the question, can we help you create lessons for your kids? And the absolute answer is absolutely, right? So if you have tasks or content that you are curious about how to teach online, we love differentiation. We love writing stories. We love writing lessons. My master's degree is in curriculum and instruction, so I love even scaffolding out those lessons and making them accessible for various grade levels. So yes, reach out. Okay, I feel like I blabbed too much, but I am going to do the quick inspiration piece. Ben started this trend day one, which was grab a book off the shelf and open it to a random page. So I do want to give the disclaimer that this was a book that I've been already working through anyway, so it wasn't a random one off the shelf. But I did actually open it up randomly to a page, and I found that it fit. It's also kind of nice too when you have a book that has so much wisdom inside of it. A lot of things end up fitting. So, okay, what am I reading? What am I reading from? It's from Thich Nhat Hanh. It's Going Home. I'm a big fan of comparative religious studies, and so this is Jesus and Buddha as Brothers. And I like this book a lot. Again, you can see by my marker I'm not fully through it all the way, but I have enjoyed this book a whole lot because he takes I usually stay inside my head and think about it from a very didactic kind of approach, and he takes it from a philosophical approach of a comparative aspect of religion. Okay, without further ado, I opened up to page 161, which I don't know if this speaks to you or not, but is called The Eternal Suffering. So I'm going to give you kind of a philosophical takeaway and then maybe a practical takeaway. So a quick read. We're all tempted to go to a place where there is no suffering, where there is only peace and happiness. You may be tempted to consider that the kingdom of heaven is such a place, that the pure land is such a place. And we tend to believe that there's a place where we can go by abandoning or leaving behind this world full of suffering, confusion, and pollution. Again, totally random off the shelf. The pollutions that afflict us are anger and hatred, despair, sorrow, and fear. When you suffer so much, the tendency to want to leave it behind becomes very strong. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to get out. Stop the world. I want to get off. Look deeply, and you will touch the fact that happiness and well-being cannot be separated from suffering and ill-being. This is the interbeing nature of happiness and suffering. There's an illusion to be removed, that happiness can be without suffering. I'll say that again. We have to remove this illusion that happiness can exist without suffering, that well-being can exist without ill-being, and that right can be without left. So, again, philosophically, at this time, when we're in a state of panic, or we're in a state of having to deal with frustrations, what an amazing time to think that I'm not trying to be a Pollyanna, right? I'm not trying to make sunshines and rainbows of everything. I am acknowledging that things aren't going as we intended. But what a way to recognize and appreciate all that we do have, and then when we do have it, how much sweeter it will be. So in my own life, already I've had a chance to practice that. My gym closed down, right? So I love going to my gym and having a good workout. And it closed down. We're in Dallas, and they have a Dallas band. And actually having picked this passage off the shelf to prepare for this talk, I was so inspired that I had a chance to create my own workout. And I'm not going to say it was the best, but it gave me a chance to appreciate what I have every day and take for granted even more. Okay, so I said that was a more philosophical one. Let me give a super quick practical one to take away, and then I'll log off. So when having kids in the home, obviously we've talked a little bit about the past few days about having frustrations. So there's a game that you play with like impromptu theater or impromptu acting called Angels and Demons, and it's kind of a neat one to play. So regardless of the age of the kid, obviously you can take this where you want to. But what you do is you have one person who plays the role of the demon, or you could say the pessimist if you want to, and one person who plays the role of the angel, or you could say the eternal optimist if you want to. And so one person's job is to say, oh man, it's raining outside. And then the other person's job is to try to say, yeah, but what a great opportunity to feed the grass. Where this gets more interesting is not just that one thing, but now the pessimist, the demon, comes back and says, yeah, but the grass needs mowed. So you're trying to out negative the other person. Too funny. Yeah, but the grass needs mowed. Yeah, but what a great chance to get out and get some exercise. Yeah, did I mention it's raining? So again, tying that all back into the inspirational message, fun game that you could play that really help us think about, man, we don't appreciate, or we can only appreciate, I should say, these things when we realize that we don't have them. So, okay, all right, well, listen, I look forward to seeing you on Facebook Live for a reading of a story while Kristen delivers the Parent Power Hour at 10 o'clock. Thank you for your time this morning, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, bye. Oh, wait, I better sign it off.